LinkedIn carousel posts get up to 10 times more engagement than normal posts if they're done right. So let me show you not only technically how to make the carousel, but also how to design this so people want to click all the way through and take the steps to become your next customer. And we have two caveats. Number one, we're talking about the free carousel posts, not the kind of carousels that you develop through LinkedIn ads. And number two, we're talking about the carousel posts that have static images like this and typically show off your thought leadership or expertise. Now, at the time of this recording, LinkedIn is slowly rolling out a different kind of carousel that also allows you to add multiple videos to it. And typically that's going to be a whole different kind of post experience with a whole different kind of goal. Now, most of us don't have this feature yet. I don't, but a lot of what I'm going over with you today will help once that new feature comes out. Okay, so there are so many ways we can use the static image carousel. We can share interesting stats, a step-by-step guide, listicles, tips and hacks, conference slides, bonus lessons, some type of story, downloadable cheat sheets, quotes and sayings, meet the team, or project or product highlights. And you have no idea how much I wanted to use Star Wars music here, but you know how copyrights can be. Anyway, you'll see that I mentioned some ideas that are more self-promotional, like meet the team or project or product highlights, but they're at the end of the list and they should be at the end of your list. That's because LinkedIn users are way more likely to look through the entire carousel when they know there's something in it immediately for them. It's that what's in it for me thing. That's why everything else higher up on the list of ideas is educational or inspirational. When people see the value, they click all the way through, they see you're an expert, they're way more likely to take the action at the end that you want them to take. Also, if you have other original content you produce, like blog articles or videos or even PowerPoint presentations, repurpose these into carousels. It's going to make your life so much easier. Even the carousel that I'm making for you today is based off content from a video I made earlier. Okay, so now let me show you how to create a carousel. And we're going to start off in Canva for the graphic design part of it. And I do have a link to Canva in the description because I absolutely love Canva. But if there is another graphic design tool you're already using and you love it, go ahead and use that. And then just follow the important concepts that I'm teaching today in this video. So in Canva, go to create a design, then search for Instagram post square. Yes, even though this carousel is for LinkedIn and not for Instagram, we still want the 1080 by 1080 pixels. Now here you'll see our blank canvas that we're building from. And if a blank canvas intimidates you because you're not used to graphic design, I totally get it. I've been there. So I'm also going to show you how you can pull a template that you can work off of. But stick with me here because you need to understand how to optimize even a template to get the best results. So to speed things up in this video, I've taken my blank canvas and I created slides for the carousel from scratch. Now let's talk about why I did what I did. First, the number of slides. You'll see here I have 7 slides and somewhere between 5 to 8 slides is ideal. That'll be enough slides to have some meat to your content without it being too long. Remember that when people are on social media, they're expecting just quick bits of information before they scroll on to other people's posts. Now, because most people are in scroll mode, we have to get people's attention on the first slide. We have to nail the slide. So honestly, spend more time on that first slide than maybe any of the other slides. So you'll see here 5 LinkedIn profile tips describes what this carousel is about, and to grow your business is what's in it for the reader. It's like you want to sell the steak and the sizzle, but you also want as few words as possible because again, people are in scroll mode. Now you'll see I've also used bright colors to draw people in, and obviously stick with your brand colors, but if there are certain brand colors of yours that pop more than others, use the ones that pop more. And if your brand colors are light enough, you might want to consider using them against a black background because you'll get some extra contrast there and some extra pop. You'll also notice an arrow here, and I recommend adding one. Even though there are teeny tiny arrows that LinkedIn automatically provides once the carousel is posted, those little arrows only appear when your cursor hovers over the post in desktop. There are no arrows in mobile, and we need really obvious arrows to get people to click through. Now you also see I've left off the tip of the arrow, and that's on purpose. That missing tip will then appear on the far left of the next slide like it's part of the slide. You can see the effect here on Canva when we view the slides side by side. You'll also see I added my LinkedIn profile picture at the bottom. Now this is not because I'm a narcissist, although I sometimes wonder if I were a narcissist, if my life would be more fun. It would be about all me. But really there are 2 reasons to include the photo. First of all, people are way more likely to click on something when it has a face on it. Second, I want my face to be on this slide and every other slide because technically people can download carousels from LinkedIn, which means they could steal your content and use it as their own. And they're way less likely to do that if your face is on it. But let's say you're creating a carousel that multiple employees from your company are going to be using, so you can't really just put one person's face on the carousel, then at least put your company logo, anything that's going to protect your work. But Don't put any elements at the very, very bottom of the carousel, because once this gets loaded onto LinkedIn and people are viewing it on desktop, there's going to be a dark carousel slide tracking bar that'll cover the very bottom of the design. And by the way, if you're getting some good ideas from this video so far, it would mean the world to me if you would hit the like button, because it really does tell YouTube to deliver this video to even more people. And I've been working really, really hard on my videos. Okay, so let's move on to the middle slides. And this is the meat of your content. Now I have 5 middle slides and I've created a template for them to cater to short attention spans. We have a number, main idea, and a super brief explanation. And the only things that change are the little graphics around the template. And when we can, obviously make the graphics match the idea that's presented in that slide. Like here I talk about a target audience, so I show a target. And here I talk about language and I have quotation marks. But if you can't think of any graphic representation because you're having a brain freeze, I get brain freezes all the time, like here, then just throw in a random shape. Geometry is always a good go-to. Okay, so now let's move on to the last slide. And this is where we want people to take action. And we're gonna do this in 3 ways. First, we're gonna mention a benefit that people may want. Like in my case, I'm mentioning that it's building a social media presence to be proud of. Then we're gonna tell people what they need to do to get that benefit, or at least get one step closer to getting that benefit. And you'll see here, I'm asking people to message me so we can start a conversation. And then we get personal. Now, if the carousel is coming from you, what I strongly recommend is putting a much larger picture of yourself on this last slide. It's kind of like saying, now it's time for you and I to get to know each other a little better. Now we can use these same concepts if we want to edit from a template. So let me quickly show you how to do that on Canva. We'll start the same way, create a design and Instagram post square. But now when you get to the blank canvas here, look to the left. You should automatically default to the design tab here and the templates tab here. And as long as you're in design templates, type in carousel. Then click on the template you want to work from. Let's say it's this one, and click on apply all pages. And then you'll see a lid on the right. And then edit the slides based on the concepts we just went over. Now, whether you're designing this from a template or from scratch, whatever format you come up with, I strongly urge you to use that same format for all future carousels. It's going to save you a huge amount of time, and also your carousels will have the same brand consistency. So once you're done, click on share, download, and we want to download this as a PDF. Choose PDF print because it's higher resolution, and click download again. And side note, since you're already in download mode, after you've downloaded the PDF, download it again as a PNG file, which is high res. You can use the PNG file format to post the carousel on Instagram. You've worked hard on this carousel, so you might as well post it in different places. Okay, so now let's post this on LinkedIn. And whether we're posting through our personal profile or our company page, it's the same process. So let's say we're posting through our profile. On the home page up here where it says start a post, we won't see a document option, which is what we need. But when we click into the dialog box, we should see it here. If you don't see it, click on the 3 dots and you'll find it here. Click on add a document and choose file. The file should be in the downloads folder of your computer when you downloaded it from Canva, so grab it there. Now here it says document title. I'll just rephrase my carousel title page by saying how to optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract clients. And by the way, we have a limit of 58 characters. Then click done. Now you'll be able to add a caption up here to grab people's attention some more if needed. And I'm going to say, here are my top 5 tips to build a LinkedIn profile that boosts your credibility and attracts your ideal customers. And then I'll add some hashtags. And note that you can either post this now or better yet, schedule it to go out later. We're going to save a huge amount of time if we make a bunch of these carousels in the beginning and then schedule them to go out while we live our lives. Now, when we post carousels or post anything, the one missing ingredient is understanding our analytics so we know how to improve our content and attract new customers. So watch this video in the top right corner because I'm going to teach you how to use LinkedIn analytics for both your personal profile and your company page. Thank you so much and see you in the next video.